Well, at least the proper beer is back, so maybe things are going to be better. Cheers. Welcome back, everybody, to me doing the weekly navel-gazing, where I tell you why I didn't do what I promised to do. That kind of thing, right? And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy this as well. It's going to be a bit rambly, as always, and I'll maybe talk about what will happen this week, and maybe some of these things will actually happen, but who knows, who knows. Anyway, let's start with all the videos, let's start with all the books I read last week, because, yeah, I didn't read that much, or at least it doesn't sound like I read a lot, but some of those things are big. So, yeah. I did not read Hopeland by Ian MacDonald, which I wanted to read, and I did not start on Perdido Street Station's reread as I wanted to. Instead, I mostly read Marx. Now, you may say that's a dumb idea. I disagree, but I did actually finally finish my full read-through of Capital Volumes 1, 2, and 3, which is quite a lot of pages, just saying. And I did finish my reading of the Oxford Handbook for on Parasocial Experiences, and went straight to the Blackwell Companion on Media Studies. No, a Blackwell Companion of Media Fandom and Fan Studies. That's what it's called. It's, well, a very interesting text is what I'm saying. And I'm learning a lot from it, and I'm already somewhere over halfway through it, so hopefully I'll be done with that one today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, and we'll see where all of that is leading. As I said, I'm doing a lot of research. It's all still in theory for that Brandon Sanderson video that I'm struggling with, but at least I'm learning a lot of interesting things, and the fan study stuff is interesting in general, and certainly something I'd like to bring up later on in other contexts as well. So there's that. So I did read a lot of nonfiction last week. Now this week, of course, these things will have to change. Because, well, Perdido Street Station will have the first read-along conversation on Sunday on Do Unicorns Reads channel. I'll share links whenever they're available and stuff, but, if you want to get ready and also follow along, we'll be reading all the way up to Chapter 14, including Chapter 14, I assume, until next Sunday, and, yeah. That's all I have to say on that. I'll definitely read Perdido Street Station this week. And I will try to read Hopeland by Ian MacDonald, because, well, because I want to read it, and more people need to read Ian MacDonald, and at least someone needs to talk about Ian MacDonald from time to time. So, yeah, I guess that'll be me. Beyond that, I do have some interesting nonfiction stuff, but I'm not sure where this will be going. As I said, I'll finish the Blackwell Companion to Media Fandom and Fan Studies, and then maybe I'll read another one, Imaginary Social Worlds. Is that what it's called? I think something like that. It's yeah, it's another one on parasocial relationships and parasocial experiences and fan identity, things like that. Something I'm currently interested in. It's my main point here. So that's something I'll definitely read. Oh, and I'll reread, in this case, Thud by Terry Pratchett, because that's the next one in our ongoing Discord read-along discussion on Sunday. So I'd better reread Thud, which is, it's a good one. It's on the City Watch book, and they're always good and always fun. And I'm looking forward to rereading it. It's been like a year or so since I last read that one. So that's plenty of reading, isn't it? And luckily, the weather's really bad outside, so I have a lot of time to sit around at home and drink tea and read books. I even found like a leftover packet of like Christmas cookies from last year, and sitting in like July or no August, drinking tea and eating Christmas cookies makes me very nostalgic for playing D&D and stuff like autumn things. Probably I'll even do a reread of Lord of the Rings anytime soon now. We will see. So that's the reading plans for this week. So what about videos and stuff? Well, I did definitely make one video, the one on audiobooks, where I did talk about the new Lord of the Rings audiobooks and how that whole thing with, like, freedom of interpretation versus accessibility, that kind of stuff. It's something I wanted to make, something I've, it's been nagging me off and on. Like, I've been thinking about talking about audiobooks for a while, and then never felt like it, because I didn't want to weigh into these, how many, is audiobooks reading or not, and my problem with that usually is I don't want to bring up the disability too often because I don't want to define myself through the disability, but I felt it may add like an additional aspect to this here. So I did it. I'm happy with the result. Looking at the views and stuff, some of you are also happy with the result, so there's that, everyone happy. Could have been more videos? Yeah, definitely. Will there be more videos this week, however? Well, that's another question, isn't it? Well, as I said, there will be the Pretty Just Street Station thing on Sunday. I think it's a live stream, but I'm not quite sure. We will find out, and as soon as I have any links to share, I will definitely share those links. I do have an idea for maybe an interesting, quicker video. We will see if I manage to make this work or not. So I'm not going to promise anything, but I have an idea, is my point here. And, well, should I manage to read Hopeland this time round, I will definitely talk about it in a video because it's the kind of book that I'm actually interested in talking about individually. I'm not really good at doing like these spoiler-free reviews and stuff like that. It's not necessarily my thing, but there are certainly individual books I feel it's important to talk about, and that's usually, things like Camp Damascus a couple of weeks ago, definitely this one as well, Hopeland by Ian MacDonald. So there's that, and I will try to actually finish that next Sunday school video, because I feel I have the structure correct, fully done in my head. I just need to actually, convince myself to record it. Maybe there will be more, who knows. That's currently where I am, like, brain-wise when it comes to videos. And I think that's an interesting aspect, right? With that video on audiobooks, it took me like way too long to record this like last week. And I was just sitting there and avoiding, setting up the camera and pressing record. And it's sometimes weird having to force myself to do this. So it felt kind of weird, but once it was done, I was happy with it. So obviously I don't regret putting it up. Maybe it's still like whatever was happening the last 2 weeks where I just felt more depressed than usual. That just kind of kept me from being productive in any way. But I'm glad I made that video because it feels like a bit of a victory if you manage to do one of those things. Yes, I'll just stop talking about making the Brandon Sanderson video. I will work on it. We'll see how long it'll take me to actually get it done. But I don't want to keep on promising you, it'll be done next week. And then obviously next week nothing has happened. And I haven't even started recording yet. And we don't want to go down that road forever, right? But there's something else that I might be doing very soon. And we will see if all of that works. But see, as one of those middle-aged white dudes, I have to do like a podcast at some point in my life, right? I did start something with a friend 2 years ago, but that whole Metal Almanac kind of thing sort of fell through for reasons that are probably mostly my fault, because I'm really bad at communicating and stuff. But there might be another try at something like that with obviously a different person, and I don't want to say too much yet, but it will also be about heavy metal because, one of the things I've always struggled with is how to integrate these two different aspects, like main aspects of my personality. Like, obviously, I'm really interested into culture, in culture and books and literature of all kinds of stuff. That's one huge thing, and that's usually what I talk about here on this channel. But I've also always been into heavy metal, and heavy metal has always been a huge part of my personality, and I'm always wondering how to make those things overlap or don't overlap, and it's different sides of me, I guess. And sometimes I'm a bit worried that people who only know me from the heavy metal context watch my videos on books and kind of find it ridiculous or whatever. There's always that weird sense of, I don't want to say shame, but awkwardness, I guess. So we will see how that works with the podcast on heavy metal things. We will see if and how all of that works. But for now, I'm kind of excited to do that. So there's that. And I think that's kind of fun. We will see if it works better than the last time round, and if you are interested, I'll definitely share it once it is up. If it happens, I'll definitely make like an announcement or something, so y'all can go there if you're interested in that. It'll definitely be a lot of waffling about all things heavy metal and using long words because, yeah, I'm good. Not I'm good at using long words, but I'm really bad at not using long words. I think that's that's a better way to describe that. So maybe that'll help me with integrating these different aspects of my personality or my identity in a lot of ways. Maybe it'll help. We will see. It's certainly something I'm thinking about and looking at. And in general, I just really want to get more productive again. It's like I'm doing. I know it's not nothing, and reading Marx is not nothing. Just saying, but it feels weird. It feels like I haven't done anything, and that kind of makes me angry when I'm like, yeah, it took me like 3 days to sit down to film like a 20-minute video. That's too slow for my taste. That's too, or from like the person I want to be. It's just too slow. If it takes me like days to run up to actually do anything. And that's probably part of the depression, burnout, whatever you want to call it, meltdown of last year. But it still annoys the hell out of me that I can't get anything done in a timely fashion. And no matter what it is, I have like an idea and I want to do that. And then when I have to actually get going, all energy just dissipates. And I'm just sitting there like, well, I can't do it. I can't do it physically. I can't get it done. And that's not something I like to live with. So slowly ramping up productivity in all kinds of ways sounds like a good idea. And in this case, obviously, having some kind of conversational podcast kind of thing will be fun, hopefully. We'll see. It's futures. They are sometimes weird to predict, or so I've heard. I've never really tried the different clairvoyance spells in D&D, so who knows? And yeah, I'll just hope that in that regards, doing other productivity things will make it easier for me to get into the thing, the Brandon Sanderson video. That's certainly the other thing. On the other hand, I've managed to pay off another one of my open debts. There's still one huge one to go through, and we'll see how I managed to gather enough money to actually do that. But it's, things are slowly moving forward. I'm slowly trying to make things right again in situations where I failed miserably myself and everyone else last year. And those kind of feel like a small success as well every time something happens, but I am the kind of person who feels like I'm not good with small steps. I'm not good with like small victories and small iterative steps. I want things to be big and done and immediately done, and kind of toxic approach to a lot of things in life, so I'm aware of that, but that's just what it is, and I'm like, okay, I'll just keep fighting that continuous thing. So we will see. Recently, I've definitely even found myself thinking about like maybe just writing things down again. I'm not sure if I'm willing to tackle that next barrier yet, because yeah, I reached a point like when I was trying to write academic stuff, is like I've reached that point where I was incapable of just writing a single page, and that's certainly something that I need to tackle at some point. And yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll just wait for like the urge to build up enough that I just like sit down and go like, yeah, well, fuck it, I'll just do it, and maybe I'll do that. We will see. It's an exciting time to be no, it's not that exciting actually. It's just a weird time is what I'm saying, and slowly things are moving, and maybe slow is better than nothing. Well, it's definitely better than nothing, but also better than fast at this point, because I don't want to overreach myself too quickly. Anyway, these are my ramblings for today, for this week. I hope you had a great week. I hope you enjoyed some of the things you did last week. I hope you're having a great week this week. Do some fun things. Read some good books. Let me know what you're doing. And I'll talk to you very soon about other things. And then, well, go read some Perdido Street Station. All right? Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.